What if I told you guys that there was an easy way to make millions on Old School RuneScape without any crazy requirements or having to kill bosses with horrible drop rates? Welcome to episode 5 of my flipping series, where I start with 10 mil and turn it into 1 bill. So far, we have made it to 28.4 mil profits, bringing us to a 38 mil cash stack. But can we reach our goal of 50 mil today? Stick to the end to find out. Subscribe. Alright guys, so the first thing that I did was put in a bunch of offers here, and after about half an hour, we were able to make some significant buys. Having a quick look at the Blighted Manta Rays here, there was a significant drop in price. So we bought a bunch of those, and we also bought a bunch of raw lobster. Now this one is a F2P flip, but I want to explain this one for my fellow F2P players. Take a look at this graph here. You can see that it drops to around 70 and even as low as 65 in the last week. Now the average price of these are actually between 85 and 90. So if you could get them at these prices, or you could watch for these drops, this is a really good F2P item. And we also got these mud runes here for 68 coins. As you can see pretty clearly, it's on a downswing right now, so I'm pretty confident that these will rise back up. So I came back in a few hours and everything had sold. We have sold off all of the raw lobsters, all of the Blighted Manta Rays, and whatever we got of the mud runes and the hard leather. And for the mud runes, we were able to make 353k, and that's just over half of the buy limit. So if we were able to get them all, it would have been 550 or 600k. As for the Blighted Manta Rays, we are now at a combined total of 751k, and if you do the math here, we have roughly 1.7 times them at 751k, so we made around 500k off of those. And for my fellow F2P players, we were able to make 391k off of these raw lobsters, making this a pretty crazy flip for F2P. Just make sure to watch out for when lobsters go below 70 coins, and you're guaranteed to make a wad of cash. And I'm sad to say it guys, but we made our first mistake. The hard leather just wouldn't sell. It took forever and ever and ever, so I ended up just dumping these, and we lost 5.9k on those. But once we sold everything, we can now look at our beautiful cash stack of 39 mil. Alright guys, so let's take a look at the next set of items here. Now we got these sharks, and they actually were a dump as well. They were buying at 1,165 coins, and these were actually a quick dump, so I was able to catch all 10,000 of them in 1 minute. So moving on to the cannonballs now, this is a special one because I noticed that I can continuously buy these cannonballs here at 166 coins, and what's even crazier than this is there's not many drops to indicate showing this. Like when I bought them for 166, the graph here didn't even reflect that, but I've actually done this flip now 4 or 5 times, so you're gonna have to take my word for this one. So yeah, just list at 166 and get free GP. So while I was waiting for everything to sell, I was just graph surfing, and I came across these red dragon D hides, and these guys were another dump. It's like 3 dumps in a row now, but I insta bought half of them at 758, and noticing I wasn't buying the rest, I upped my price to 1778 to secure a full buy limit. But before we move on, I just want to quickly explain dumps for you guys and what I do and my methods in order to get the most items when these prices decline. So as you can see here, this dump actually started at around 1670. Now doing the math here, that would be roughly 350 coins profit per item before GE tax. So knowing we're not the only flipper online in the world right now, we could comfortably list the offer at about 50 to 60 GP over the price, still making a reasonable profit. GE Tracker also tracks prices every 5 minutes, so you're gonna want to sit on this page here during dumps and actively check the price to make sure it's not rising above your offers. Another important factor to look at when doing dumps is also the volume per 24 hours. So in this case, it would be 922k or roughly 38k per hour, which means if you haven't bought any of these guys within 2 to 3 minutes. Because of this information being 38k sell an hour, you know that you have to raise your price higher because somebody outbid your bid. If you still need help with dumps or just flipping in general, we actually have a Discord channel, and I'm not going to talk too much about this, but real quick, the link will be in the description. Now that we've taken care of that, let's get back to some more crazy news. We came back to the GE and everything had sold. We had sold off our sharks, cannonballs, and red dragon hides. Alright, so to start here, we got our cannonballs, and we were able to make 231k profit. Now keep this in mind, guys. Make sure that if you don't have any flips going on, that you're listing these for 166 or 167 coins, because they do buy and you will make a ton of passive income. For the red dragon hides, we made 1.4 mil off of this flip. This is one of the best flips that I think I've done in a while, and it's all because we took advantage of the dumps and the information earlier in this video. So make sure you guys have a second read at that if you haven't already, so you can capitalize on these dumps. And for the sharks, we were able to make 731k on these guys. Another crazy one. I mean, anything over 2 or 300k is definitely a win. This took me an estimate of around 45 minutes, and we've just made 3 mil. And we're nowhere close to being done yet. Alright guys, so remember what I just told you guys about the cannonballs? Well, it had been 4 hours, and I just went ahead and I bought them and I sold them again. And this actually took maybe 20 minutes, bringing us up to 484k now with these cannonballs. And as you can see here in the bottom right, it did in fact buy for 166 yet again. So this is a perfect active flip, or daily flip rather, for new or beginner flippers to try and make some free GP. Alright guys, so here's the next set of offers that we have, and I'm happy to announce that there's actually 2 more F2P items within this mix. So first things first, we got more raw lobsters. Yeah, that's right. So they're down again at 73 coins, and this is what I was saying earlier. There's a lot of times throughout the day that these lobsters will tank down between 75 and 65 coins, making this an easy one for F2P players. We also got these gold rings by accident here. I meant to actually put 118, but I guess when the dump happened, I was able to stack up on 18,000 rings at 112 instead. You can see on the graph here again for the second time now, the graph doesn't even reflect this, but like I don't even know how to explain it. Sometimes I guess the graph doesn't register that price. If it's not there for 5 minutes, that would be my estimate for this case. And bada boom, bada bing, everything has sold again. We've sold all of our gold rings, all of our raw lobsters, and all of our Torag plate bodies, which I'll explain in a second here. So we only managed to get 1 Torag plate leg at 86k, so I decided not even to do anything but just include it here for validity. For the lobsters here, we were able to make it now up to 504k, and I actually wasn't able to get the full buy limit, but still really nice for a free-to-play item. And for the gold rings, we were able to make a total now of 968k, and keep in mind these are items that are so cheap that anybody with even 2 mil can just do these as passive offers. We have now made it up to a 42 mil cash stack, and we are almost to 50 mil. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and goodbye.